Well, welcome everybody. I'm so pleased to be able to say that. Welcome to our new home. It's been a long time coming, but only 20 months from start to finish when you think about it. It was a couple years in planning, and the seed of this plan was many years ago. But we wrecked this place in September 2017, and here we are sitting our butts in our big meeting room, our community meeting room, on July 16, 2019. And Stephanie just made me note that today is the day of the moon landing celebration 50 years ago. So it's kind of momentous. We're celebrating the moon landing as well as the opening of our new municipal building. I want to extend a hearty welcome to all the folks who have made this building possible. And if you're here, the building committee is Ken Snyder, Stephanie, Dean Logan, the Chief Logan, Dave Tomko, and Rick Shea. Rick, are you here? Dave's here. They're really important and key to this. And then the contractors, if you're here, the contractors, Penn Builders. Anybody here from Penn Builders? Can you please stand up and let us say hi to you? Thank you guys, great job. Thank you. Electrotech, are you here? Electrotech. Borough Construction, Hirschberg Mechanical, and Anchor Fire Protection. And the consultants, Boucher and James. Anyone here from Boucher and James? Interior Space and Design. Oh, Boucher and James, sorry, Jeff. J.D. Bravo. I saw Rob back there, who is the owner's representative. J.D. Bravo had Rob Gallant had the unique opportunity to represent the township amongst all the contractors and the people who were boots on the ground. So we did a great job doing that. And Pickering Courts. Is anyone here from Pickering Courts? And last but not least, our architects, Phillips and Donovan. There's at least one back there. There's Jim. Can't say enough to all the administrative staff, Stephanie and fire marshals, code enforcement, Sinclair Salisbury, the police department, the PBA, everyone who had a hand in this design, and especially Public Works and people like Rick Shea, who saved us a boatload of money just by their own expertise and in getting involved in the knit and grit every day and looking out for us and saying, hey, we can get that cheaper elsewhere. Let's do it that. Oh, I saw something just as good here. Let me get it. And some of our administrative staff even decorated the front lobby. They worked really hard in selecting the right chairs and the little carpet areas, and did a lovely job, Jackie and Jill. Jackie and Jill, their really names are Jackie and Jill. Our administrative staff who helped do that. So thank you to all of them. If there's anybody here who's a member of a board and commission, can you please stand up so we can thank you also for your volunteerism over the years? I see Pam and all you guys. Thank you. Boards and commissions, thank you. And I see some former employees. Dick John, Director of Operations, please stand. For a gazillion years, Dick John ran the Public Works and the DTMA, the Water Department, for us. And then Steve White, former Chief Steve White. And Sergeant Whitmore's back there. Sergeant, yeah. Dorothy Kruger, Officer Dorothy Kruger just walked in. Say hi. Anybody else? I don't want to miss anybody. You're all just so wonderful to be here and to share this opening with us. Thank you for coming, and we're going to get on with the rest of get on with the board meeting, right? Here we go. Ken, do you want to say anything?
Just one comment. Since this is our first meeting, the building isn't 100% complete yet. We're still doing some work on the outside, and we need some countertops and stuff like that. But it's also the first meeting in this room. So we're experimenting with the sound levels and the lights and stuff, so we'll keep refining that as time goes on. But so if you have any comments back, how the sound was, and was it too echoey, we'll try to fix that in the future. But thank you for your patience.
Okay, thanks, Ken. Anybody else have anything they want to say by way of welcome or? No, we're good? Okay. Thank you. All right, announcements. The next meeting of this Georgetown Township Board. Oh, I messed up, didn't I already? Darn it. Okay, visitors of public comment. Is there anyone who has anything they want to say and share with us tonight? Okay. Seeing none. Next meeting of the Georgetown Township Board of Supervisors is...
Would public comment be specific to an issue that you're going to discuss tonight? Or should we...
It can be, if it's on the agenda, we'll give you an opportunity to speak then. Is that okay? Okay, good. Sir, why don't you come forward and make your comment so we know so make sure that your comment is covered. Please identify your name and your address.
Hi, I'm Matt McGarren, 204 Southwind Drive, Doylestown. I'd sent all the members of the board an email about the road conditions in the Doylestown Ridge subdivision. I understand it may be on the agenda. I think
it will be on the
agenda. It will be on the agenda. So can I hold my comments till then? Okay, just didn't know what the order of operation was. Thank you.
I neglected to advise that before the start of this regular meeting, we had an executive session on some personnel matters, a real estate matter, and also you may have heard the rumor, was reported in the local newspaper, that New Britain Borough might be looking for other police services from the regional police department. So they reached out to us, and there will be a meeting. We discussed it just generally in our executive discussion. No further discussion will be had. Chief will be looking into it, and I and Stephanie and possibly the chief will be meeting with representatives of New Britain Borough to see what their needs are and see if we can accommodate. So that's where we are. Even if they make a change, we might be considered, but it's a long way away. So I just wanted you to know that discussion was held, and that's, no further discussion is going to happen unless we tell you. Okay? All right. Next meeting of this board, Tuesday, August 20th at 7 p.m. The Georgetown Township Golf Outing is Monday, August 26th. It's an 8:30 sign-in time. Please contact administrative offices. This was continued from an earlier time when we were rained out, of course. So there's plenty of opportunity for foursomes, and it's a fun event. You get breakfast and you get lunch, and you get breakfast and a big steak lunch. So it's really worth it. The Thompson Performing Arts Series will continue at the CNN Amphitheater in Central Park. All events start at 7 p.m. I'm going to run down them real fast. July 17th is Jersey Beach Boys. July 24th, New Solution Entertainment. July 31st, the Eric Mentel Jazz Group. August 7th is Big Chill. August 14th is the Houston Bernard Band. August 15th is a movie, Incredibles 2. And August 21st is the Sensational Soul Cruisers. All these events are free. So please take advantage of what's being offered to you from your township and available to you thank you to the Thompson organization. And all of these events will be held at the CNN Amphitheater in Central Park. The 2019 discount park tickets and movie tickets are available in the lobby. Kids Castle is temporarily closed. We're doing renovations and additions, and we're going to have more abilities to play for all kids of all abilities. So stay tuned. It's going to be opening later on this summer. The third Saturday of every month is lead and yard recycling opportunities from 9 a.m. to 11, and you drop off your leaf and yard recycling to the New Britain entrance of Central Park. And July 19th is Park and Recreation Professional Day, and we have a superior award-winning Park and Rec department, so please say hi to your Park and Rec representatives. They do a great job, and we're very proud of them, and we're very proud of our parks and park facilities and amenities. You know, we have the environmental education grove, we have the native gardens, we have bird walks. We have all kinds of opportunities to enjoy our outdoors in addition to the playgrounds and the music. So enjoy your outside and thank a rec person for us, because they deserve all the hard work and creativity they put into this township and to our residents. All right, enough announcements. And by the way, the TAB organization, the Telecommunication Advisory Board, we were yelling at Ed earlier, they do a superior job. All the telecommunication stuff we did before this new building is now blown up into amazing new stuff. We did provide first, top services to our residents with our web streaming live and our DTV and cable access channels so that everyone could participate in meetings, whatever event, whenever time they had. That's all going to be even more accessible with the new equipment so that all the stuff that we're going to present is going to be that much more professional and that much more attractive. So we're just going to really buff up our ability to communicate with our residents and for you to communicate with us. All right, next item on the agenda is approval of the minutes from the regular meeting of June 18, 2019. Is there a motion to approve the minutes?
Move to approve.
Second.
Any corrections? There's a motion and a second. All in favor of the motion?
Aye.
Aye, that's carried 5-0. And there's also minutes to approve from the budget work session of June 18, 2019. You all had an opportunity to review them. Is there a motion to approve?
Motion to approve. I'll second.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Correspondences, we regrettably have a resignation from Bob Salonik from the Park Board, but he's asking that he be reassigned to a position on the Pension Advisory Committee. So is there a motion to accept Bob's resignation from the Park Board?
Accept his resignation. I'll move to accept.
Thank you. For a second.
Second.
All in favor of the resignation of Bob from the Park and Rec Board, Bob Salonik from the Park Board? Just signify by saying aye. And no opposed, right? All right. And then is there a motion to appoint Bob Salonik to the Pension Advisory Committee? We know who he is, or are there anybody else applying?
There hasn't been, no.
I would like to make a motion to appoint Bob Selenik to the committee. Spent a lot of time, so.
All right, thank you.
Second.
Thank you. All in favor? Reports from the solicitor. We have a question about fireworks ordinance.
The board will recall that some months ago you adopted an ordinance related to the regulation of the utilization of fireworks within the township. Sometime over the 4th of July holiday, I guess, comment was received from a resident inquiring about two elements. One, that the ordinance was missing a word, and also there was a duplication of the penalties for first offense. But going to the second topic, my copy indicates that number 4 says third violation. I don't know how he got a copy that said a first violation. So I don't know where that came from, but between the manager and I will sort that out. He is correct that the eagle eyes in this board, including Mr. Colella, missed the fact that we needed to put a word in between, let me find it, times to be between this time and that time. We just said and.
10.
Right, so we need to make that minor adjustment. Now, with respect to the authority to proceed, first of all, the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania takes precedence over any actions you would take to the extent that they have already chosen to regulate those kinds of activities. The Commonwealth of Pennsylvania regulates the sale of fireworks, the content of fireworks, where they can be sold, and sets some boundaries as far as side yards. The Commonwealth of Pennsylvania does not regulate when they can be displayed, when they can be used in someone's backyard. So the township has that authority. It's not been precluded. And the provisions of the second-class township code that grants that authority to the board is that in section 66506, you may make and adopt any ordinances, bylaws, rules, or regulations not inconsistent with or restrained by the constitutional laws that come about necessary for the proper management, care, and control of the township and its finances, and the maintenance of peace, good government, health, and welfare of the township and its citizens at all. So when you adopt that ordinance, you adopted the ordinance on behalf of the residents for the health, safety, and welfare of the residents. And it's your call as to what was in the ordinance, but you clearly have the authority to regulate those kinds of activities as long as they're not inconsistent with the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, and they're not.
Mm-hmm. Thank you. So if Mr. O'Malley here? We'll shoot him a note.
Mm-hmm. Between Stephanie and we'll provide a response.
Okay, thank you.
The changes that we have to make are insignificant, that we don't have to re-advertise.
No, you just have to change a word.
Fine. Okay, thank you. Thanks, Jeff. Anything else?
That's all at the moment.
Chief? Engineer?
Nothing at this time.
All right, Director of Operations.
You have before you my recommendation for the 2019-2020 fuel bid award. Basically, on behalf of the Bucks County Consortium of Local Governments, Upper Southampton advertised for various fuels that we purchased for the operation for township operations. Those bids were received, and this is for the period of August 1st, 2019 to July 31st, 2020. It's my recommendation that, and I had a correction in my memo, which I will go over. Basically, I am recommending that we award the regular unleaded fuel at market fluctuation price to PAPCO for the price of market fluctuation pricing plus 0.2093 cents, as well as the ultra low sulfur diesel fuel market fluctuation price plus 0.2468 cents, as well as the winter additive for the diesel at 0.0375 cents. And also, I'd like to make the recommendation that we award the purchase of propane fuel. This is my correction. Should be at the market fluctuation price plus 0.61 cents to Suburban Propane. You have my memo, and that's my recommendation. I have for the.
So your last one to Suburban Propane is to deliver at the market price with the
0.61 cents, plus 0.61 cents per.
market price plus?
Yes, not the fixed. My apologies.
Okay. Everyone got that? Do you get that correction there? Is there a motion to approve the awards to both PAPCO and Suburban Propane for first unleaded regular gas, ultra-low sulfur fuel, and winter additive, diesel winter additive, and to Suburban for the propane at the market rate plus 0.61?
I agree.
Is there a motion to approve both? Thank you.
I'll second.
All in favor of the contract approvals? Say aye.
Aye.
Any nays? None? Okay. 2009 Road Program Award Recommendation. Dave, you're still on.
Correct. This is the 2019 road program award recommendation. We advertised for the road paving program and received 3 bids on July 9th. They were received and reviewed by the township engineer. Jeff reviewed them and is in agreement that the low bidder is JDM Morrissey. In my memo, I've made the recommendation to the following. We had, and first I would like to say in the bids, we had a number of roads plus add alternates. My recommendation is that we award the base bid, which would include Hidden Lane, Windsong Drive, Southwind Drive, and Windy Run Road. I'd like to remove the South Shady Retreat portion from Iron Hill Road to Burpee Road.
North Shady Retreat.
North Shady Retreat, I'm sorry. Yes, North Shady Retreat from the base bid. So the recommendation is the base bid would be reduced down to $400,188.20. I'm also recommending the additional roads be added in as add alternates or accepted as add alternates. Add alternate number 4, which is Amherst Drive. Add alternate number 5, which is Alyssa Lane. Add alternate number 6, Barrett Drive. And that is from Windy Run Drive down to 261 Barrett Drive. So not the full portion of Barrett as it exits the development. And then also add alternate number 11, which is full depth base repair. Add alternates total $111,527.50. The total amount for the base bid revised plus the add alternates that I called out is $511,715.70 for this year's road program.
The gentleman who spoke earlier, Southwind is on this list. Yes. Okay. Do you have any other comments you want to make? You're delighted. Okay. I'll repeat that. He is delighted. Okay, good. All right. Is there a motion to approve this contract to J.D. Morrissey with the add-ons and base bids, base prices for a total of $511,715.70?
Make that motion to approve the 2019 program as you've identified.
I'll second.
Okay. Questions, comments? Anybody out there? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye, thank you. And we are below budget.
Yes.
Very good, thank you.
Item number 3 is the J.D. Morrissey change order number 1. I'd like to table this item. This was tied into the award recommendation, and I'd like to fix some of the verbiage in their document before we actually have you act on that. So I'll work with Jeff, and we'll get Jeff Atanasio to get this all worked out, and we'll bring that before you for approval.
Thank you.
As we get that change order. Not just paperwork.
So next is the J.D. Bravo.
Yes, J.D. Bravo, as Barbie may have mentioned, that J.D. Bravo Company is the construction management firm that offers owner representative services for the municipal complex project. That is this project. As I indicated in my memo, and as also stated in Mr. Rob Gallant's attached letter, that as of July 7th, he had only $900 left in his lump sum proposal to complete the project. I am basically then worked with Rob and asked him to submit a proposal for time and materials. He has outlined a number of items that would be examples of what work would be done to close out this project. There's still some things to work with the contractors and some issues and punch list things and items. So basically has submitted a punch list or a time material proposal, and he is estimating about $8,500 of additional expenses would be hours and plus expenses to complete and close out this project, and I'm asking for your approval.
Is that up to $8,500 or
Well, again, it's time and material, it's approximation.
approximation?
Yes.
Do you want to speak to this at all?
Yeah, when we talk about the work that J.D. Bravo performed for the building of this facility can't compare it. I mean, he's the guy in the trailer every day, basically keeping all the construction guys. Now, at this phase of the project, got a lot, all those last-minute loose ends we got to do. So I think it's instrumental that we execute.
Okay. Want to make that
I
motion?
would make the motion to extend J.D. Bravo's.
Second.
All in favor? All right, thank you. Anything from you, Stephanie?
I have nothing at this time.
Township manager, in case anybody doesn't have any work. Nothing at this time. Comments from the supervisors. Ryan, do you have anything?
Just welcome to the new building. This room is beautiful. So I'm so happy to be here and sitting in a comfortable chair, not a folding chair. Bravo to everybody. And, I know, Barb, you did a lot of thank yous, but I think it bears saying again, Ken, the work you did to lead the building committee was astronomical. And, you just did such an incredible job. And I know, I probably speak for all of us, that we can't thank you enough for your efforts with all of this.
Thank you, Ryan. You got anything, Rick?
I do. The Planning Commission had a meeting, and the Grasso's representatives were there. If I could use my own words, it was one small step for Grasso and one giant leap for the project moving forward. They came back with a modified proposal, smaller weight building from 4 stories to 3 stories, a little bit change in orientation, and it was a consensus of the Planning Commission to move forward on the 3-story building, and they're to come back in July, and assuming they have all their ducks in a row, Planning Commission will review it. There's a possibility in August that this board here will see this new presentation, this new setup, if you will, from Grasso.
Do you have anything?
The only thing I wanted to ask, I asked the sewer committee to follow up on it because we had a commitment that we would have a weekly update on the website project. It's not happening every week, but ask that we can follow up with them to make sure that the residents.
They have to get it from County Water.
Yeah, right.
I think with the July 4th holiday, they got delayed on that. But we'll make sure they get an
Yeah, I
update
mean,
this Friday.
I agree
Yeah.
with Ken, and not to sugarcoat it, but, geez, We constantly ask them, and we constantly told, oh yeah, no problem. And I still don't think they get it.
Okay, thank you. Jen?
As Barb mentioned earlier on in the meeting, this month is Park and Recreation Month in Pennsylvania, and July 19th is Park and Recreation Professionals Day. The state put out a flyer that says, every July we celebrate Pennsylvania Park and Recreational Professionals Day to honor the people who work to provide the programs and facilities we all enjoy. On July 19th, consider it a tribute to your local park and recreation providers to visit a park and perhaps send a little thanks to the park and recreation professionals who made your visit possible. I'm lucky enough to be the liaison to the Park and Rec Committee, and I see the work that they do regularly. And they're not only dedicated to it, but it is obviously a passion for all of them. I want to thank them particularly. This beautiful building was originally slated to have an area for our Parks and Rec to have a community center. And because of cost overruns and other things, that part was taken out of the budget of the plan. And so we're working very hard to be able to bring that back to our community. And we'll be hearing more about their plans in the future. So I wanted to thank our Park and Rec Department and thank them for their patience and offer the parks to you all to come and visit, especially on July. I also wanted to thank TAB, which is our Telecommunication Advisory Board. I'm a liaison on that board as well. They have worked incredibly hard to get everything set up for this facility, between the TV and the online and these microphones down to cabling. They've worked very hard, and I appreciate their work. Also, the EAC is the Environmental Advisory Council. They're a very large committee that I get to sit on as the liaison. And just to give you a little update on that, they hosted a summit for the regional EACs on June 12th, and it was very successful. They discussed topics such as native plantings, single-use plastic, electric car charging stations, Ready for 100 program, updating ordinances to be more environmentally friendly, and deer management. I'm very proud of our EAC, and I hope you all are as well, for their leadership in our community, and they'll continue to work very hard at working on the environment in our area as well as working with. I also wanted to bring up that they were part of this building. They did plantings out front and are working on doing the permanent planting. Season is right for us. And finally, I wanted to bring to the board a topic that is more of a national concern. And so if you won't mind. It used to be that our country's southern borders was crossed mostly by single adults from Mexico looking for work. Now it's mostly families, moms, dads, and children running from war, unimaginable poverty, and imminent threats to their lives. Our systems are not designed for this. We treat people fleeing the horrors of their home country not with compassion, offering our help and protection, but shutting down most legal means to come to us for help, and then treating them as prisoners and adding a level of cruelty, taking their children, even babies, away from them. Housing the children in deplorable conditions with no way to know if they will see their family again is unforgivably cruel. Although our Board of Supervisors may not have many avenues to affect change in this, we do have the ear of people who can, more so than the average person. As the only Democrat on the board, I know many people will support me and my party in my passion to end this. But I am reaching out to you to speak to the leaders in your party that you have the ears and ask them to consider supporting closing down mass detention, stopping family separations, both at our border and in our own Commonwealth. 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 Our own Commonwealth
thanks. Last meeting, Jen brought up the number 2 killer of youth in our communities, suicide. And with that, Jen indicated she took QPR, which is Question, Persuade, and Refer, which is a program available to all of us. And I reached out to Sharon Curran, who is CEO of the Lenape Valley Foundation. She's happy to come and do a training for the community, for us, for Bucks County Association of Township Officials on QPR. This is the process of question, persuade, and refer. So I really encourage that, come September, maybe we host a town meeting. We have the facility now. That we pull as many people together, just residents and community members and whoever else is interested in learning what to do, because suicide is so prevalent, especially amongst young people. And it's not restricted to young people anymore. And as a matter of fact, the annual Suicide Prevention Conference is going to be held this year at Delaware Valley University on October 7th. And all are welcome to that as well. So we'll put that on our website for information. But I'd like to get the where to go and what to do available to our residents, much like we did with the, tracking down whether our children are opioid east. So we're in this position. We're in charge with health and welfare of our residents. So this is something that I think we can do, and we should do. So that's all. Thank you. That's all I have for now. We have a public hearing on the subdivision and land development ordinance regarding plantings in parking islands, and I think the EAC had some hand in development of this ordinance.
If I may, by way of background, the board, I guess back in May, authorized advertising an ordinance amending the subdivision land development which related to landscaping requirements and parking islands and the like. I would say my recollection is that it incorporated the recommendations from the EAC. Planning Commission had a role, as did the planning consultant. Based on the board's direction, the ordinance was prepared. It was duly advertised in the Intelligencer. Copies provided the Bucks County Law Library. The appropriate planning commissions were given an opportunity to weigh in on the ordinance. So at this point, it's appropriate for the board to conduct a public hearing, and if appropriate, to proceed with considering the adoption of the ordinance.
All right, we're opening up the meeting to the public hearing on this ordinance. Does anyone care to comment? Everyone had an opportunity to review. Well, the board has had an opportunity to review. I looked for mistakes, but there weren't any that I could see. Janine Mitchell, do you care to speak to it at all, or do you have any comments that you might like to make? I welcome those.
Mike Bucky's here from Boucher and James, our landscape architect planner.
You want to speak to this ordinance at all?
What I love about this ordinance is that it's really about the transition from traditional landscaping to the use of native plants, which is actually the wave of the future. It's a slow change, but if we as a township spearhead the change, not only for our municipality, but for the residents of our municipality, I think it could go a long way to making some important environmental stewardship changes. So that's all. I just wanted to emphasize the native plant aspect.
Thank you, Janine. Janine Mitchell, Chairman of the Environmental Advisory Council. Thank you. You want to say anything? Oh, yeah.
He doesn't have to.
You don't have to say anything. You're welcome.
Time's clicking.
You asked. I just want to say thank you to the AEC for initiating this process of amending the saldo. It was based in large part, from my understanding, from Audubon guidelines, and the Planning Commission, as you mentioned, had a say in it as well, making recommendations pertaining to design flexibility. So there were some changes that were made to the plant selection, as was just mentioned, to make it more native, to get rid of the invasive species and the non-native plants as well.
Any other questions or comments? Hearing none, is there a motion to approve the ordinance?
I'll move to approve the ordinance.
Second.
Motion and second, all in favor of the ordinance, say aye.
Aye.
Any nays? No. All right, thank you. Thank you, guys. All right, next item on the agenda is the Memorandum of Understanding for naming the Central Park Amphitheater, CNN Amphitheater in Central Park. CNN is the successor company to Monument Bank. We're very pleased to have them as a partner, and love it when they get their new sign up on top of our amphitheater. The Memorandum of Understanding is that they will pay us $50,000 over 3 years for these naming rights. And would gladly accept that $50,000. And we're happy that they get the name on our theater, because it helps provide for the amenities in Central Park, but also for the performing arts series that is sponsored by the Thompson organization. I ask that the board consider approving this Memorandum of Understanding. It's already been signed by Christopher Nardo, who's president of CNN.
I'll make a motion.
Thank you. Do I have a second?
Second.
Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Thanks. All right, here we go with the resolution number 2132, designating July as Park and Recreation Month. Is there a motion to approve the resolution?
Move to approve the resolution.
Thank you, Jen. Is there a second?
I'll second it, and,
You will?
yeah, and that's out of character for me.
Is that indeed?
And it's because we work as a team here. And although I haven't agreed over the years with all the resolutions, I've abstained from all the resolutions, I abide by what the board says. And I don't look for different parties or different affiliations. And I think we should work as a team. And, you know, it's like Congressman Royal Johnson from World War I, where he was adamant, vote against going to war in World War I. Hitler's ravaging, and he votes against it. He can't get anybody else to go with him. Congress approves going into Europe for World War I to stop Hitler.
World War II, I think.
No, World War I. Not Hitler, I'm sorry. World War I to stop the German aggression. And he's one of the first ones that volunteers. And he was a war hero. So I like to look at the board as we're a team. We may not agree. We don't agree a lot of times. And I don't want to get into partisanship. So I'm going to vote, and because I like Karen, I'm going to vote for designate this as a resolution 2132.
Okay, there's a motion, a second. All in favor?
Aye.
The reference to Karen is Karen Sweeney, our Director of Parks and Recreation, who's sitting back there. Karen, stand up so everybody can congratulate you on your work. And Karen was referring to Caitlin Finney, who's behind the glass, the girl behind the glass. Wave, Caitlin. She's operating the equipment right now. There she is. All right. Thank you. Permit fee waiver request for Bucks County Food Alliance. Is there a motion to approve this waiver of charges so they can have their 5K run?
I'll make the motion.
Thank you. Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Okay. They're waived. Bucks County Food Alliance. All right. We have two hookup requests to public sewers, 47 Pine Valley and 41 Buttonwood Lane. Can we handle those together?
You can handle them both together. The information is there, the request from the residents. They sit on an existing public sewer line. Both properties are experiencing some problems and would like to connect their homes to the public sewer line.
Is there a motion to approve?
I absolutely make a motion. We continually get this issues with water and sewer, so I'm happy that we're able to hook up a few more people.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. And then the next item is the Bucks County Water and Sewer payment. They want money. Letter from Matacola to Stephanie dated July 2nd with attachments.
I'd ask that we table that at the moment.
All right. There's a request that we table it. We'll take it off the agenda for now. Good.
Pebble Ridge.
Yeah, Pebble Ridge.
Payment.
And then there's the development agreement preserve at Burke Farm.
Board has previously approved, it's a small townhouse project on Bristol Road with a preservation of an old house and significant amount of open space. Board's approved the final subdivision land development application subject to the execution of a development agreement. The form is consistent with the township's form. All the conditions of approval have been incorporated. It's been executed by the developer. Would request the board approve the development agreement for the preserve at Burke Farm.
Everyone had a chance to review the development agreement?
Yes.
All right, is there a motion to approve?
Make
the
a motion,
development?
we approve the preserve at Burke Farm, sorry.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. All right, and then two zoning hearing board matters. The first one involves 16 Cedar Crest Court. Stephanie, what's your recommendation?
My recommendation is that we leave this matter to the zoning hearing board.
Okay, so be it.
Agree.
And then the second one is 1083 Ferry Road. I don't like these names.
And again, I would recommend that be left to the zoning hearing board. Both are very simple variance requests.
Well, I just want to make a comment, because I think 90% of them we send to the zoning hearing board and leave it to their wisdom and research. But I also think if we don't send any comments, there's an implication implied that we're in agreement. And this second one, they want to get their setback 18 feet. I mean, that's not even to the first chair. And I think that at least I would like to voice to the zoning hearing board to take a hard look at that. I don't know how many people want to have their neighbor 18 feet away. I think we have the distances set up. We've got the ordinances. Mike and Boucher and James work hard to get these ordinances, and I think we should support them. So I'm okay having the zoning hearing board make whatever, decision they do, but I'd like them to know that at least I don't like it.
All right, so we'll send
You can send, yeah.
That's my comment.
Thank you.
I don't want to speak for that's just me.
That's fine.
Really.
And Ken agrees?
And agrees? Okay.
So be it. Again. All right, treasurer's report for July 16, 2019. Everyone had an opportunity to review it. It came electronically.
Yes.
Is there a motion to approve it?
Move to approve.
Second.
Second, okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
And then the bills list for July 16, 2019.
Move to approve.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, there are things to sign at the conclusion of this meeting, folks, so don't go far.
right.
And we're going to dispense with announcements again, and I'm going to turn the agenda over to the chief.
Thank you, everyone, for coming this evening. On behalf of my staff, I would like to thank the board for recognizing the need for a new complex. By doing so, you have provided us with the space, tools, resources, and space, tools, resources, and freedom to do what we do for the residents of your township. For 2 years, the staff had been confined to close quarters and made good with less than ideal conditions. At times, it tried our patience, but in the end, everyone, including the police department and administrative staff, worked together, and we came together during the process. I'd like to recognize just a couple people. I know Barb went through a couple people, and I'd like to recognize a few. Rick Shea, Rob Dando, and Mike Abbott, not only for getting us through the past 2 years, but for getting the last 2 weeks, getting us here where we're at tonight. It was unbelievable what you guys pulled together. Barb also mentioned the construction staff. It's kind of weird when you spend the last 20 months with a group of people you never met before, and they became family. Ed Hilbert, John Swartley, Jim Linsky, and Rob Gallant, thank you for everything. It's not often we get such a large group of my staff together, so I'd like to take a moment and introduce them to you. You probably only see them once in a blue moon, which is a good thing, unless you're getting pulled over, like Barb. All right, I have Holly Dotson, my administrative assistant, who's been with the township for 17 years in the back. We got a lot of them, so if we could just hold the applause to the end. I got Janet Casey, who's been with us for 10 years, one of our clerks. Rose Reith has been here with us for 8 years, part-time, started as a clerk and also as a school crossing guard. Matt O'Connor, 33 years as my lieutenant, in charge of scheduling, training, detectives, and internal affairs. Don Lawson has been here 23 years, is an officer and a firearms instructor. Chris Power, 18 years as a detective. He's not here this evening. Bill McCrisky, again, one of our detectives, been here 16 years. I think these guys might be on vacation together. I'm not quite sure. Brian Maloney's been here 16 years. He's a firearms instructor. Sergeant Charles Ziegler, 16 years. He's our accreditation manager. Pat Furlong, 16 years, self-defense instructor, bike patrol officer. Matt Hershowitz, 15 years. He's our highway safety officer. Scott Jones, 14 years, sergeant, motor officer in charge of our fleet services. Tim Reel, 9 years as an officer and my go-to motor officer. Jared Courts, 5 years, self-defense instructor, bike patrol, field training officer. Jessica Whiteside, 3 years, motor officer, field training officer. Corey Caraballo, 2 years, detectives, and he's on our crime scene unit. Joe Zucchero, 1 year. Dan Nathalin, a year, he's on a special response team. And our 3 newest guys that have under a year of service, Alexander Weldy, Daniel Carr, and Nicholas Moffett. I'll leave the last 2 guys for the next. Between us here, we have 11 and a half years of experience. That's about average for a department of our size. In addition to the grand opening here, we're here to the new buildings. We're here to recognize and promote Officers Jeffrey Stitch, who's been with us 6 years and is a member of our special response team, and Officer Sean McGee, who's been with us for 16 years and is one of our first aid instructors, to the rank of sergeant. The transition from patrol officer to sergeant is arguably the most difficult in the department of our size. Shortly after you're promoted today, you will officially no longer be a peer, but you will need to find a way to be a leader. Leaders possess integrity, honesty, a clear vision on how to help people and the organization meet their goals and objectives. As we move forward, the 2 of you, along with Sergeant Ziegler and Sergeant Jones, will be in a unique position to mold the department and continue the traditions set before you. After nearly 34 years of service, Lieutenant O'Connor, excuse me, I might get choked up here, is officially going to reach his retirement date in the not too distant future. I currently have 33 years of service and suspect that shortly my end date might be on the calendar. I'm asked how I became chief in the town I grew up in, and I always thought it was an easy answer. A willingness to learn, hard work, dedication, longevity, because a lot of good guys left between here and me being the chief of police, and the confidence of Stephen White to recommend me to take over the department. The township has a history of promoting from within, and I am confident that the people that we put in place will allow you to continue that in the future when I step down. To the board, on January 6, 2019, Sergeant Justin Inafresco, who's here this evening, tendered his resignation to take up his career with the FBI. And in February, we had a reassignment within the department, creating 2 open patrol sergeant positions. In March of 2019, the members of the department participated in a promotional screening process which concluded a chief's interview board and an internal review. As a result, on March 25, 2019, Officer Jeffrey Stitch and Officer Sean McGee were named acting sergeants. Officer Stitch was appointed to the department in July of 2013 and has an associate's degree in avionics and associate's degree in security forces through the Community College of the Air Force. Officer Stitch has attended Penn State Justice and Safety Institute's Police Supervisor in-Service Training, commonly called POSIT program, and is currently a member of the Central Bucks Special Response Team. Officer McGee was appointed to the department in January 2003 and has an associate degree in criminal justice from Bucks County Community College and a bachelor's degree in criminal justice from Penn State University. Officer McGee has attended Penn State's Justice and Safety Institute's Police Supervisory Training Program. Officer Stitch and Officer McGee have demonstrated leadership qualities, and a command presence suitable for this department. I am recommending that the Board of Supervisors promote Officer Jeffrey L. Stitch and Officer Sean P. McGee to Sergeant of Police and to conduct a ceremony, a swearing-in ceremony at this board meeting.
Chair will entertain a motion of same.
Make the motion for both officers.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right.
Soon to be Officer or Sergeant Stitch, would you mind coming forward? Is Rachel here? Rachel?
Sergeant Stitch, Officer Stitch, would you please introduce the woman who's going to be
This is
holding
my
your Bible?
wife, Rachel.
Rachel, would you please hold the Bible for your husband, and would you please place your left hand on the Bible and repeat after me? I, Jeffrey L. Stitch,
I, Jeffrey L. Stitch,
do solemnly swear that I will support, obey, and defend the Constitution of the United States,
I swear I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States,
the Constitution of the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania,
the Constitution of the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania,
and the ordinances of Doylestown Township
and the ordinances of Doylestown Township,
against all enemies, foreign and domestic,
against all enemies, foreign and domestic,
and that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same,
and that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same,
and enforce without consideration to a person's race, color,
and enforce without consideration to a person's race, color,
sex, religious creed,
sexual orientation, age,
national origin, ancestry, handicap, or disability. And say again, I, Jeffrey L. Stitch,
I, Jeffrey L. Stitch,
do further solemnly swear that I take this obligation freely.
that I do
Solemnly
swear that I take this obligation freely,
without mental reservation
without mental reservation
or purpose of evasion,
or purpose of evasion,
and that I will and will faithfully discharge the duties of Sergeant of Police
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties of Sergeant of Police
with fidelity.
with fidelity.
Excellent. Thank you. Congratulations, Sergeant. Thank you. The sergeant is signing the oath he just swore to. And then the chief is going to give, I will sign it too. And now he will be pinned with his new badge. This is when all family members can cry, so that's permitted. And chairs of boards. Yay. Okay. Officer McGee, front and center.
Officer McGee, and I believe Jessica's here, his wife.
I, Sean P. McGee,
I, Sean P. McGee,
do solemnly swear that I will support, obey, and defend the Constitution of the United States,
do solemnly swear to support, obey, and defend the Constitution of the United States,
the Constitution of the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania,
the Constitution of the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania,
and the ordinances of Doylestown Township,
and the ordinances of Doylestown Township,
against all enemies, foreign and domestic,
against all enemies, foreign and domestic.
and that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same,
I will bear truth, faith, and allegiance to the same,
and enforce the law without consideration
and enforce the law without consideration
to a person's race, color, sex,
to a person's race, color, sex,
religious creed, sexual orientation,
religious creed, sexual orientation,
age, national origin,
age, national origin,
ancestry, handicap, or disability.
handicap,
ancestry,
or
handicap, or disability.
disability.
I, Sean P. McGee,
I, Sean P. McGee,
do further solemnly swear
do further solemnly swear
that I take this obligation freely,
that I take this obligation freely,
without mental reservation
without mental reservation
or purpose of evasion,
or purpose of evasion,
and that I will well and faithfully
and I will well and faithfully
discharge the duties of Sergeant of Police
discharge the duties of Sergeant of Police
with fidelity.
with fidelity.
Thank you. Congratulations. Can I give you a hug? I have a great fondness for the men and women on this department. And it's wonderful to see these two officers come up and now become sergeants and leaders. And it's been my absolute pleasure and privilege to administer these oaths. So thank you. Let me see what's left on the agenda.
Adjourned.
Adjournment.
Okay, we'll entertain a motion to adjourn to coffee and tea and goodies in the back.
We have some light refreshments, food. Unfortunately, it's just water. And I have opened up the police department for anybody that'd like to walk through. This is your probably one and only opportunity to do so. Due to some accreditation standards that Sergeant Ziegler is very thorough on. So, thank you all for coming. Good luck to Sergeant McGee, Sergeant Stitch. Congratulations to your families. It's well deserved. Thank you.